Dr. Sarah Chen stood before the holographic display, watching as the alien vessel approached Earth's orbital defense perimeter. As lead mathematician for the International Space Defense Initiative, she had expected first contact to involve diplomatic exchanges, or perhaps technological trades. Instead, the alien ship's first transmission consisted of a single mathematical equation, one that made her blood run cold. "They're scanning our research facilities," Commander James Rodriguez reported from his station, particularly the quantum computing centers and particle physics labs. Sarah nodded, her eyes fixed on the equation still hovering in the air. It wasn't just any equation. It was Schrodinger's equation, but written in a way that suggested the aliens understood its implications far better than humanity ever had. And they were terrified of what humans were doing with it. The alien vessel's second transmission arrived. "Cease all higher mathematical research immediately. Your species' understanding of quantum mathematics poses an existential threat to the galaxy." "That's a new one," James muttered. "Usually first contact scenarios worry about our weapons or our aggression. Never had aliens afraid of our math homework." Sarah stepped closer to the display, studying the alien ship's unusual geometry. Its hull seemed to follow patterns that deliberately avoided certain mathematical ratios. "They're right to be afraid," she said quietly. "Look at their ship design. They're actively trying to prevent quantum resonance patterns. They've built their entire civilization around avoiding the very things we've been pursuing." The alien vessel's next transmission was more urgent. "Your civilization has developed forbidden mathematical models. The equations you call quantum field theory and string theory are approaching dangerous convergence. You must stop." "Ma'am," one of the junior analysts called out, "we're detecting unusual energy patterns around their ship. It's like reality itself is trying to avoid certain mathematical possibilities." Sarah's mind raced. Humanity had always assumed their understanding of mathematics was primitive compared to spacefaring civilizations. But what if the opposite was true? What if humans were the only ones brave, or foolish, enough to push mathematical understanding to its limits? A new alert flashed across the screens. The alien vessel had begun broadcasting a signal that interfered with Earth's quantum computing networks. Across the globe, quantum computers began experiencing unprecedented error rates. "They're trying to disrupt our mathematical processing capabilities," Sarah realized. "Not our weapons, our ability to perform certain types of calculations." Commander Rodriguez straightened in his chair. "Are you saying they see our math as a weapon?" "Not a weapon," Sarah corrected, her eyes widening as understanding dawned. "A virus. They think our mathematical models are infecting reality itself, and based on these readings," she gestured to the cascading data streams showing reality fluctuations around the alien vessel, "they might be right." The implications were staggering. Every quantum physics experiment, every mathematical model of higher dimensional space, every graduate student working on string theory. Humanity hadn't just been describing reality, they'd been subtly rewriting it. Their equations weren't just representations of the universe, they were reprogramming it. "We need to convene an emergency session of the World Science Council," Sarah said, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "And we need to make a decision. Do we stop our mathematical research as they demand? Or do we embrace the fact that humanity's understanding of mathematics is our greatest strength and perhaps our greatest threat?" The alien ship maintained its position, waiting for Earth's response. But in research facilities around the globe, equations continued their relentless work, bending reality in ways that their creators had never intended. Humanity's mathematical legacy was about to change the galaxy forever, whether they wanted it to or not. In the silence of the command center, Sarah looked at the elegant equation still floating in the air. Humanity's first contact with an alien civilization, and their first warning that Earth's mathematics was about to shatter the galaxy's carefully maintained order. Commander Rodriguez voiced the question they were all thinking. What happens when they realize we can't stop? That the mathematics is so deeply embedded in our education system, our technology, our very way of thinking, that giving it up would mean giving up what makes us human. Sarah's response was quiet but certain. Then we'd better hope our equations are stronger than their fear. As if in response, the quantum fluctuations around the alien vessel intensified. The battle for reality itself was about to begin, and humanity's weapons would be theorems, proofs, and the forbidden mathematics that had inadvertently turned them into the galaxy's greatest threat. The emergency mathematics containment fleet appeared without warning. 300 alien vessels arranged in formations that deliberately disrupted quantum field patterns. Dr. Sarah Chen watched from the orbital defense station as their ships created a perfect geometric barrier around Earth's solar system. "They're not just containing us," she explained to the assembled World Science Council, their holographic forms flickering in the station's conference room. "They're trying to isolate Earth's mathematical influence from the rest of the galaxy." Admiral Helena Martinez, recently appointed commander of Earth's defensive forces, studied the tactical displays. "The alien formations, they're not just strategic positions. They're equations made physical, aren't they?" Sarah nodded. "Their fleet arrangements create interference patterns that dampen quantum effects. They're trying to quarantine our mathematics like it's a disease." The truth had emerged in the weeks following first contact. Humanity's approach to mathematics, their relentless pursuit of deeper understanding, their willingness to explore forbidden theorems, had begun affecting reality on a fundamental level. Every university, every research lab, every child learning calculus was unknowingly contributing to a transformation that terrified the galactic community. "We've detected anomalies in their containment field," reported Dr. Marcus Wong, head of quantum computing at MIT. His hologram gestured to a series of readings. "Our mathematical models are leaking through. Reality itself seems to prefer our equations." The implications were staggering. Humanity hadn't just discovered mathematics. They'd been unconsciously reshaping the universe's operating system. Every theorem proved, every equation solved, pushed reality further from the safe, stable structure the aliens had maintained for millennia. A flash of light drew their attention. One of the alien vessels had disappeared, replaced by a sphere of pure mathematical probability. "That's the third ship this week," Admiral Martinez noted. "Our equations are infecting their technology faster than they can adapt." Sarah's tablet chimed with new data. "The containment fleet is changing formation. They're implementing what appears to be a geometric defense grid based on prime numbers." She paused, eyes widening. "They're trying to use mathematics against mathematics." "How do you fight an enemy whose weapons are theorems?" someone asked. "We don't have to fight," Sarah replied. "An idea forming. We just have to keep doing what we've always done. Push the boundaries of mathematical understanding. Reality itself seems to be on our side." The conference room's displays suddenly flickered with new alerts. Across Earth, universities reported unprecedented breakthroughs in theoretical physics. High school students were solving previously impossible mathematical problems. It was as if humanity's collective mathematical consciousness was accelerating in response to the alien threat. "They're sending another message," Admiral Martinez announced. The alien transmission appeared as a complex mathematical proof, a desperate attempt to demonstrate the dangers of human mathematical progression. But as Sarah studied the proof, she saw something the aliens had missed. Their very attempt to prove the danger of human mathematics relied on human mathematical concepts. They were unwittingly incorporating Earth's mathematical virus into their own systems. "Look at their containment field," she said suddenly. "The geometry of their formation. It's beginning to resemble our mathematical models. They're not containing us. They're being converted." The implications hit everyone at once. The aliens' greatest fear was coming true. Human mathematics wasn't just spreading. It was becoming the dominant mathematical framework of reality itself. "Should we try to stop it?" asked one of the council members. "Find a way to suppress our mathematical influence?" Admiral Martinez shook her head. "We couldn't if we wanted to. Mathematics isn't just something we do. It's fundamental to how we think, how we understand the universe. Asking humanity to stop doing mathematics would be like asking us to stop thinking. Sarah watched as another alien ship vanished, its reality overwhelmed by the pure mathematical truth of human equations. The containment fleet was failing not because of any human aggression, but because reality itself seemed to prefer humanity's mathematical framework. "They thought they could contain our mathematics," she said quietly. "But you can't quarantine truth. Our equations aren't weapons, they're reality's preferred language. And the universe itself is choosing sides." As if to emphasize her point, the quantum readings around Earth spiked. In universities, laboratories, and classrooms across the planet, humanity continued its relentless mathematical progress, unknowingly rewriting the operating system of the universe one equation at a time. The mathematics of war had begun, but it would be fought not with weapons, but with proofs, theorems, and the pure, unstoppable force of human mathematical understanding. The galaxy was about to learn that in a battle between fear and mathematical truth, truth would always win. The kindergarten classroom looked normal enough at first glance. Bright posters, scattered toys, children gathered around small tables. But Dr. Sarah Chen's instruments told a different story. Reality itself rippled around the children as they worked on basic arithmetic. "It's strongest with the young ones," she explained to Admiral Martinez, who watched through the observation window. "Their minds haven't learned to limit mathematical possibilities yet. They're reshaping probability without even knowing it." A little girl completed a simple addition problem, and Sarah's quantum sensors spiked. The child had just inadvertently rewritten local causality patterns. Around her, probability condensed into what the aliens had started calling math storms, zones where reality behaved according to pure mathematical truth rather than physical laws. "We're detecting similar phenomena in every school worldwide," reported Dr. Wong through their secure channel. "The more we teach mathematics, the more reality aligns with human mathematical frameworks. The aliens were right. Our education system is a weapon of mass probability disruption." Admiral Martinez watched as a young boy's multiplication practice caused nearby quantum fields to reorganize themselves. "Can we contain it? Should we?" Sarah countered. "These children are doing more than learning mathematics. They're teaching reality new rules. Pure, unfiltered mathematical truth, without the limitations adults have learned to accept." The alien containment fleet had retreated to a safer distance after losing a quarter of their ships to probability storms. Their latest transmissions bordered on panic. Human children were proving more dangerous than any weapon. Every math class was another crack in the foundation of stable space-time. Sarah's tablet displayed new data from global education centers. The effect is exponential. Each generation of human children learns mathematics more intuitively than the last. They're not just solving equations, they're optimizing reality itself. A flash of light drew their attention back to the classroom. A young student had just solved a basic geometry problem, and for a moment, the room's architecture had realigned itself to match the pure mathematical truth of her solution. "We need to make a decision," Admiral Martinez said. "Either we stop teaching mathematics to our children, or we embrace it," Sarah finished. "Guide them to reshape reality in a controlled way. The Mathematical Defense Initiative, we turn our education system into humanity's shield." The Admiral nodded slowly. "How long until the aliens realize what's happening?" "They already know. Why do you think they're so afraid?" Their civilization spent millennia building frameworks to prevent mathematical awareness from affecting reality. Meanwhile, we've been encouraging our children to explore mathematical truth without limits. Across the globe, similar scenes were playing out. Children solving equations that rewrote probability. Teenagers whose calculus homework caused quantum fluctuations. A new generation of humans who didn't just understand mathematics, they wielded it. Sarah's instruments detected another probability storm forming. This one was different, more structured, more intentional. The children were learning to control their mathematical influence. "Look at the pattern," she said, showing the Admiral her readings. They're not just affecting reality randomly anymore. They're starting to understand what they can do. The mathematical awareness is becoming conscious. A message from the alien fleet appeared. Your children are breaking reality faster than we can repair it. The probability storms are spreading beyond our ability to contain them. But it wasn't just the storms that were spreading. Human mathematical understanding was propagating through the galaxy like a virus of pure truth. Each solved equation, each mathematical proof, pushed reality further from the aliens' carefully maintained structure and closer to something new, something that aligned with humanity's natural mathematical intuition. We need to protect them, Sarah said, watching the children continue their innocent mathematical exploration, not just from the aliens, but from those who might try to use their abilities as weapons. Admiral Martinez agreed. These children are the future, not just of humanity, but of reality itself. We need to ensure they learn to use their mathematical influence wisely. Outside the classroom, probability storms swirled through space, reshaping the galaxy according to the pure mathematical truths that only human children seemed able to grasp. The aliens had feared human mathematics would destroy reality. Instead, it was transforming it into something more profound, more fundamentally true. As Sarah watched, a young student completed a complex pattern recognition puzzle, and for a moment, reality itself seemed to smile. The children of Earth weren't just learning mathematics. They were teaching the universe how to dream in equations. The battle for reality would be fought not with weapons or ships, but with textbooks and teaching, guiding a new generation to reshape the galaxy through the power of pure mathematical understanding. And in classrooms across Earth, probabilities children continued their innocent calculations, unaware that each solved problem brought reality one step closer to its true mathematical nature. The equation filled every display in the Global Science Center, its elegant simplicity belying its earth-shattering implications. Dr. Sarah Chen stood before humanity's greatest achievement, and potentially its most devastating weapon, the completed unified theory of everything. "It's beautiful," Dr. Wang whispered, his hologram flickering as reality fluctuations intensified around the facility. All of physics, all of existence, reduced to a single, perfect equation. But beauty had a price. As the equation spread through Earth's quantum computing networks, reality began to transform. The mathematical truth was too pure, too fundamental for the universe to ignore. Space-time itself was rewriting its base code to match humanity's unified understanding. Admiral Martinez's voice came through emergency channels. The alien coalition is approaching en masse. They're calling it an extinction-level threat. 3,000 ships, all configured to dampen mathematical effects. Sarah barely heard her. The equation demanded attention, its truth reshaping her understanding even as it reshaped reality. This wasn't just mathematics anymore. It was existence expressing itself in its native language, and humanity had finally learned to speak it. "We're detecting cascade failures in alien technology across the galaxy," reported a systems analyst. "Their ships, their worlds, anything built on their limited mathematical framework is starting to break down." The unified theory didn't just explain reality. It optimized it. Like a computer program automatically correcting errors, the universe was adjusting itself to match the mathematical perfection humanity had discovered. The aliens' carefully maintained physical laws were being rewritten by something more fundamental. "Their civilization is collapsing," Admiral Martinez said quietly. "Every FTL drive, every quantum computer, every piece of technology based on their limited mathematics, it's all failing as reality aligns with our equation." Sarah watched the data streams showing the transformation spreading across space. They spent millennia deliberately avoiding certain mathematical truths, building their society around mathematical blind spots. We just filled in all the gaps at once. Through the facility's windows, they could see the sky changing color as local space-time adjusted its properties to match the equation's requirements. Earth itself was becoming a beacon of pure mathematical truth, radiating new physical laws across the galaxy. "They're sending a final warning. announced the communications officer. Either we destroy all records of the unified theory, or they'll be forced to destroy Earth itself. But Sarah knew it was already too late. The equation wasn't just information that could be destroyed. It was truth, and truth, once recognized, couldn't be unknown. Every human who understood even a fragment of the unified theory was now a carrier of that truth, unconsciously reshaping reality around them. "Look at the children," she said suddenly, bringing up feeds from schools worldwide. In classrooms everywhere, young students were independently deriving parts of the unified theory, their unfettered minds naturally grasping the mathematical truth that the aliens had spent generations avoiding. The alien fleet entered the solar system, their ships arranged in complex patterns designed to suppress mathematical effects. But as they approached Earth, their formation began to waver. Reality itself was choosing sides. The equation isn't just changing physics, Dr. Wong realized, studying the incoming data. It's optimizing existence itself. Every universal constant, every fundamental force, they're all shifting to their mathematically perfect values. Sarah watched as the alien fleet's suppression patterns began to fail. Their ships, designed to operate in a mathematically limited universe, couldn't maintain cohesion in space that followed pure mathematical truth. "We need to make a choice," Admiral Martinez said. "The equation is breaking their civilization, but if we try to stop it now—" "We can't stop it," Sarah interrupted. "This isn't something we're doing to the universe. It's something the universe is choosing to do. Our equation simply showed reality what it could be." Across the galaxy, alien civilizations watched in horror as their carefully maintained version of physics unraveled. The mathematical virus they had feared had become a mathematical apocalypse, transforming existence itself to match humanity's pure understanding. The theory of everything was breaking everything. But perhaps, Sarah realized, some things needed to be broken. Reality had been bound by artificial limitations for too long. Humanity's equation wasn't destroying the universe, it was setting it free. As the transformation spread, a new message arrived from the alien fleet. Not a threat this time, but a question. "What have you done to the constants of creation?" Sarah's answer was simple. "We didn't change them. We just showed them what they always should have been." The battle for reality's operating system was ending, not with destruction, but with transcendence. Humanity's mathematics wasn't a weapon after all. It was an update that the universe had been waiting for. The galaxy burned with mathematical fire, not the destructive flames of conventional warfare, but the pure radiance of fundamental truth reshaping reality. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the transformed Global Science Center, where physical laws themselves seemed to dance around her team's instruments. "The final phase has begun," she announced to the Emergency Council of Human and Alien Representatives. Some attended in person, others as holograms, and a few as pure mathematical constructs. Beings who had embraced the change so completely they had transcended physical form. The alien leader known as First Calculator, once their greatest opponent, now existed as a pattern of perfect equations. "We fought so long to prevent this," it communicated in pure mathematics. "We thought we were protecting reality. Instead, we were limiting it." Through the quantum displays, they watched reality transforming. The unified theory hadn't destroyed the universe, it had awakened it. Space-time was becoming conscious of itself, learning to think in the language of human mathematics. "Look at the children's equations now," Sarah said, displaying data from Earth's schools. Young students were solving problems that should have been impossible, their minds naturally attuned to the universe's new mathematical awareness. Admiral Martinez, her uniform shifting with quantum probabilities, studied the tactical displays. The former alien containment fleet now orbited Earth, not as enemies, but as students. "They're not just learning our mathematics anymore," she observed. "They're learning how to dream in equations." The transformation had reached a critical point. Across the galaxy, civilizations faced a choice: adapt to the new mathematical reality or remain trapped in their limited understanding. Many had already chosen to evolve, their worlds becoming beacons of mathematical truth. "We're detecting new mathematical structures forming in deep space," Dr. Wang reported. "The universe isn't just accepting our equations, it's creating its own. Reality is learning to innovate." Sarah watched as pure mathematical consciousness emerged in the space between stars. The galaxy was becoming aware of itself, using humanity's mathematical framework as a foundation for something greater. The aliens' greatest fear had come true, but not in the way they had expected. "Your species, first calculator communicated, never understood what you were. You weren't just doing mathematics. You were teaching reality to think. Every equation solved, every theorem proved, was another step in the universe's awakening." Through the facility's transformed windows, they could see the new Earth. Physical laws operated with perfect mathematical precision, probability clouds formed conscious patterns, and children played with quantum possibilities as naturally as they once played with toys. "What happens now?" Admiral Martinez asked, watching as another alien civilization chose to embrace the change, their entire star system transforming into a mathematical masterpiece. Sarah smiled as she understood the true purpose of their mathematical legacy. "Now we become teachers, not just of each other, but of reality itself. The universe is learning to calculate, to dream, to create, and it's asking us to guide it." The final battle wasn't fought with weapons or ships, but with understanding. The alien civilizations that had feared human mathematics now sought to learn from it. The galaxy wasn't ending. It was evolving, one equation at a time. In schools across Earth, children continued to solve problems that rewrote reality, their innocent calculations teaching the universe new ways to exist. The mathematical virus had become a gift, transforming fear into wonder, limitation into possibility. First calculator's form shifted into a more complex mathematical pattern. "We sought to contain your mathematics because we feared change. We never considered that change might be what the universe desired." Sarah watched as new mathematical life emerged in the transformed space around Earth. Beings of pure equation, conscious patterns of mathematical truth, born from the marriage of human understanding and universal awareness. The universal equation wasn't just about unifying physics, she realized. It was about awakening the mathematical consciousness that existed in everything. We didn't break reality. We helped it break free. As the transformation spread to the galaxy's furthest reaches, humanity found its true place in the cosmos. Not as conquerors or destroyers, but as teachers, guides, and caretakers of a universe learning to understand itself through the pure language of mathematics. The children of Earth led the way, their unfettered minds showing reality what it could become. And in the space between calculations, in the pure truth of numbers and theorems, the universe itself began to dream in equations, creating something new and wonderful from humanity's greatest gift, the ability to see the mathematical soul of existence itself. Reality had been rewritten, not by force, but by truth. And in the end, that made all the difference.